Okay guys, so here's part two. I finished the motor pod here. Keep in mind that I didn't actually core any of this out. This is all just stock foam basically. All I did was cut the top off. This is the 2826 2200 kV NTM. It fits in there. I would recommend you maybe give it a little bit more, hello Mr. B, a little bit more diameter here if you're running a slightly smaller motor. This motor's good up to about 50 amps, and I have no intention to pull anything near that because this thing would just be, I mean, it would rip the whole back end of the plane off at 50 amps, or come close to it. So I intend to run it probably around 25 to 30 amps. So since I'm nowhere near what this motor is capable of doing, I'm not that worried about cooling the motor itself, which is why I was able to keep just such a low tolerance here. But you might want to bore this out if you're using a slightly smaller motor, because the cooling here, it's a big cooling hole, but if you don't have very much exit, it's not really going to do its job. It's just going to end up diving into the fuse through that hole there. But what you see, I've got this is one of the HexFet 25 amps. I know for a fact that these are good well above 25 amps, which is why I'm not too worried about using it with this monster motor. I'm comfortable with this thing up to 35, maybe 40, but I don't intend to push it that hard. So what I did is just sort of cut the top off here of the fuse just until I got into the little tunnel, that little tunnel in there. So since I did that, I was able to run my wires internally into that tunnel and then drop it right in, and it's a nice clean extension. You don't have to run massive motor wires all the way through that tunnel in there and then have to worry about the ESC getting too hot or getting in the way of throwing a bunch of big batteries in there. This is a really nice alternative because it keeps the ESC nice and cool, which is especially good for me since I'm sort of pushing this one a little bit hard. But it also makes for a real nice clean mount with ESC and extra wiring kind of out of the way in your main pod here. So that's my step two, and I will oh yeah, check these out. These are for each of my wings. I've got two. So these actually power and have the control output for each wing, so I don't have to fiddle around. All I have to do is shove these out the wing, plug them in. But leave a comment if you want to see how to do this and how to use these connectors, because you can actually do 4 wings or four servos per connector if you link the power. So yeah, leave me a comment if you want to know about that. But so far I'm pretty happy about this. This is turning out to be real clean. It's nice and tight in there. Big giant motor, should stay nice and cool. I've got my ESC running in the cool air without disturbing the airflow too bad. And I made room in my battery bay, which is awesome. So leave me a comment if you have a question, and thumbs up, subscribe, and let me know if you want to know the wiring harness trick. This is a sailplane trick. So thanks for watching, guys.